Support WrestleTalk!
Support Mr. Davis. 4 years after choosing to leave the company in 2016, Wade Barrett made his first appearance in WWE on Wednesday's episode of NXT, filling in for Mauro Ranallo on commentary. He was also advertised for next week's Super Tuesday episode 2, implying he'll be sticking around for longer. Cageside Seats have pointed out, though, WWE might have more long-term plans for Barrett, as WWE have hyped his return on social media, posted a new website photo gallery of his career highlights, and also moving Barrett to the current superstars section on WWE.com. Also, his bio on the site now adds an interesting extra paragraph. Barrett should fit right in on the black and gold brand, implying he'll be around longer than just a 2-week deal. Nexus reunion invasion angle confirmed, as Bray Wyatt asked Barrett on Twitter, "Are you here for that Nexus reunion thing?" Before the pandemic, WWE were reportedly planning a Nexus reunion angle at WrestleMania 36. If only WWE had another invading faction storyline he could be a part of right now. What do you want to see from Wade Barrett in WWE? Let me know in the comments, because I'll be replying only to those who address me as Mr. Davis. From out of some bad news for ya. Speaking of bad news, WWE aren't just taking on AEW in the ratings, they're also battling in the trademark courts. FTR haven't had the smoothest transition from WWE to AEW, as their original name of The Revolt was shut down via cease and desist from an existing indie team, and a list of other catchphrases they tried to trademark are being opposed by WWE. PW Insider is reporting WWE are attempting to block FTR trademarking Shatter Machine, Say Yeah, Top Guys, hashtag FTRKO, and No Flips, Just Fists. The team formerly known as The Revival have until October 5th to respond. FTR booked themselves an AEW tag team title shot for All Out on last night's episode of Dynamite. Last night meaning not Wednesday, because for the second week in a row, NXT and AEW didn't go head to head in the ratings. Which means Wednesday's packed episode saw Karrion Kross vacate the NXT title, Breezango win the tag titles, and an epic announcement of a fatal 4-way 60-minute Iron Man match for next week's Super Tuesday show, getting this week's an average of 824,000 viewers, which is down by about 29,000 viewers from last week's episode, but massively up from when they ran against Dynamite. It's almost like NXT being scheduled head-to-head with AEW is just a way to take chunks out of their viewership rather than actually build the brand. Next week will be very interesting, as it's Dynamite that will be getting the unopposed Wednesday night slot, which is also their go-home show for All Out. Before we get on with the rest of the news, I just want to say a huge thank you to this episode's sponsor, The Muscle Hustle. The Muscle Hustle. The Muscle Hustle. The Muscle Hustle is a wrestling game for your phone like no other, mainly because it combines wrestling with both pinball and RPGs, as you collect, train, level up and evolve hundreds of different wrestlers into your own super faction, and then flick them at your opponents. Download it and get addicted to the very satisfying multi-hit combos, or go even further and master the game by diving deep into the gameplay and meta for the perfect combinations. Because The Muscle Hustle is a wrestling game designed for wrestling fans by wrestling fans, not only can you collect and manage your stable of wrestlers, but you can also decide who to promote and who's a babyface or a heel across single-player campaigns and real-time PvP. This is a real labour of love, as members of the original development team have taken The Muscle Hustle over and are running it on their own as Dandio Games. So support them and support WrestleTalk by downloading The Muscle Hustle now and get involved with the dedicated community of players on Discord and Facebook. Come join and do the hustle! The Muscle Hustle! The Muscle Hustle! Now I've got my blazer back on, it's time for my review of AEW Dynamite in about 5 minutes. The show opened with actual fans in the arena, cathartically singing along to Chris Jericho's entrance music. Hey, that's my old jacket, who was on commentary for the night. Hopefully this goes better than the last time people sang along to Fozzy Live. The show opened with the tag team gauntlet match to decide who gets a shot at the titles at All Out. The Young Bucks started in the number 1 slot, beating the Nightmare Family and then going up against the Best Friends. I've been here before. I think I know how an underdog gauntlet match goes. No, Hangman Page, no! Page appeared from out of nowhere, blocking the Bucks from breaking up a pin, meaning they got eliminated. The Bucks were more confused than anything as Page backed out through the stands, seemingly just as conflicted about his own actions. It all left FTR, now complete with matching jackets and a Tully Blanchard, to strut to the ring and quickly tap out Chucky T by focusing on his injured knee. The Bucks confronted Page backstage later in the show, screaming at him that they can't put up with his moods any longer. They threw a glass of whiskey in his face and officially threw him out of the Elite, which is going to be pretty awkward for Page's Elite Tag Team Champion partner, Kenny Omega, who's undergoing his own heelish descent. Hangman Page's continued self-destruction is the best story in wrestling right now, ending this installment looking into a broken mirror. Metaphor. Almost just as impressively, AEW took their rather camp, jokey Casino Battle Royal match from the last few years and turned it into faction warfare. Jake Roberts announced Lance Archer will win it, following his squash of Sean Maluta, which brought out Team Taz, or the Flintstones as Roberts called them, an image that I now can't shake, whose Ricky Starks, Darby Allin, literally kicked out of his shoes. And following their really fun victory over Joey Janela, Sonny Kiss, Brian Pillman Jr. and Griff Garrison, another faction's leader, Eddie Kingston, declared the Casino Battle Royal will be one of his new Death Pentagon. See what I did there, faction members? Either himself, one of the Lucha Bros, Butcher, or The Blade, all setting up a genuinely really intriguing battle royal for All Out. It was a really cool video package hyping Shida's All Out opponent Thunder Rosa, even including footage of her work in the NWA with owner Billy Corgan putting her over. It's a shame this feels more like yet another late setup exhibition match for the women's title though. Then 2 of the best promo guys in the business, champion Jon Moxley and challenger MJF, had their first direct face-to-face promo segment. A contract signing for their AEW title match at All Out. A contract signing, might I add, that actually made sense, as it was all about MJF wanting Moxley to sign papers banning the paradigm shift. After some excellent lines back and forth, including MJF asking John to tell that hot little wife of yours, Renee Young, he's single, Moxley somehow made his greatest weapon being taken away from him an even greater threat. He warned MJF that now he's got to get creative, which makes him feel even more dangerous. And the face outsmarted the heel too at the end, sneaking in an extra page to the contract, giving Mox a match against MJF's obnoxious lawyer next week. Following a recap of the Cody injury from Saturday, I'm not crying, you're crying! The Dark Order gloated about their victory and then buying 6 lawnmowers with the spoils, being the Elite joke that feels goofy out of context. After a mock coffin spot pretending Cody's cadaver was inside it, the inspiration to us all, Mr. Brody Lee cut a fiery promo in the ring, introducing Anna Jay officially to the Order, which I assumed happened a while ago actually, and punching John Silver for being too excitable. Dustin Rhodes and QT Marshall ran down to get revenge for Cody, but the numbers game was too much. Scorpio Sky ran down too in a really neat way to set him up as a TNT title challenger. Once Brody had left though, Matt Cardona was able to equal the odds, letting the faces stand tall. Later on, Tainara Conti also joined the Dark Order after tagging with Anna Jay in the women's tournament. Mr. Brody Lee only pushes blonde women. It's a classic mobster trope. In an unfortunately terrible match, Big Swole beat both Rebel and Penelope Ford, building her match against Britt Baker, and the main event saw Matt Hardy and Sammy Guevara somehow fit a 15-minute match into an ad break. Getting a tables match to seemingly blow off their feud, they started their 8-minute match relatively brawly, but when it came back after commercials 2 minutes later, Sammy was bleeding from a huge gash in his head, Matt had accidentally put himself through like 2 tables, and Hardy hit a twist of fate on Sammy with a chair round his neck. It was bloodily brutal stuff, which Sammy won with a superplex through a table with deleted spray painted on it. The show went off air in a chaotic brawl as Orange Cassidy went full effort mode, attacking attacking Jericho on commentary. That was this week's Dynamite in about 5 minutes. What did you think of the show? Let me know in the comments down below. Not content with being amongst the best wrestlers in the world, Kenny Omega, Hangman Page, the Young Bucks, and FTR have crafted themselves the best storyline too. A tale now almost 9 months long, yet rooted in years upon years of their context together. The women's division is still highly problematic, and I didn't think the fans added enough atmosphere to warrant the risk of having them there, but overall, this week's Dynamite is 4 out of 5. As exclusively reported by WrestleTalk.com's Louis Dangoor, because we do exclusives now, don't you know? We can now reveal the real reason Luke Owen was fired on Wednesday's episode of Quizzlemania. According to numerous sources, Luke was being an entitled prick backstage, always wanting to get himself over instead of prioritizing what the fans want. This reportedly led to a big backstage clash with the head of the company, which resulted in his firing. He also sneezed that one time on a group call. The quote shoot video that has since been uploaded is the product of a disgruntled former employee and nothing more. Luke Owen will not be turning up on our live reactions for this Sunday's Payback. It will only be me and Laurie on the show. I repeat, Luke Owen will not be invading our Payback live reactions this Sunday. Also, don't subscribe to the WrestleTalk Clips channel, as something has happened to it completely unrelated, which we're working to take back control of. Luke now has a 5-year non-compete clause. Content he has already produced for the company, like his Actually Good series on Parts Unknown, will still be published, but you shouldn't watch it. I repeat, do not watch his review of Christopher Nolan's new movie Tenet, which came out in cinemas this week, with Laurie Blake on Cineworld's YouTube channel, by clicking the video there. And definitely don't watch his Actually Good series on Parts Unknown, which has its final Series 1 episode tomorrow. Is Vince McMahon actually good? I'll answer that one for you right now. Obviously he is. He's a genius. Download the Muscle Hustle using the links below. I've been Mr. Davis. Jam that jam.